When a barber sees a man with a long, tangled beard and unruly hair enter his shop, he agrees to provide him his services for free after the man says he has no money. Little does the barber know that cutting a homeless man's hair would lead into a shocking truth. Andrew is a kind-hearted 31-year-old man who worked as a barber. After graduating high school, he took up his profession because a single mother couldn't afford to send him to college. Instead of feeling sad, complaining, or comparing his fate with other people's lavish lifestyles, the young boy took his difficult circumstances as a challenge and worked hard towards a better future. It had been over a decade since Andrew started cutting people's hair and shaving their beards. He had his own barber shop and was making enough money to make ends meet. It was a regular day for Andrew cutting people's hair as one person walked in after the other. His shop was a prime location in town, easily accessible to a lot of people. As the day progressed, Andrew ensured all of his customers walked out of his shop satisfied. He was cutting a young boy's hair when everyone's gaze shifted towards the glass doors. A homeless man entered. Noticing how some men had started mumbling, Andrew looked towards the entrance and saw the man with a long beard and tangled hair reaching his shoulders. His door and dirty clothes were proof of his difficult life on the streets. Standing by the entrance, the man looked at Andrew with a ray of hope sparkling in his eyes. He didn't have enough money to get a haircut or buy a razor to shave his beard. He'd entered the barber shop hoping someone would help. Please ever see Andrew smile at the man welcoming him and suck. Without saying a word, the homeless man sat on one of the seats in the waiting area hoping no one would ask him for money. Feeling nervous, he fidgeted with his fingers, his gaze locked on the ground. A few minutes later, Andrew gestured for the homeless man to sit on the recliner. Feeling happy, the man stood up and walked towards the chair. "I don't have any money to pay for the services," he told Andrew, his voice tinged with embarrassment. "So okay, Sir," Andrew cheered, smiling and leaning towards him. "Your hair couldn't shave her on me. Please let me know if there's anything else you need." Shocked by Andrew's offer, the homeless man thanked him and introduced himself. "I'm Jake and new. My name is Andrew. I'm the boss here," he replied, smiling at Jake. "You don't have to worry about the payment. Okay, just sit here and let me transform your look." Andrew's heartwarming gesture made Jake feel happy. He quickly sat in the chair and allowed Andrew to do his magic, resting his head on a headrest as Andrew prepared to shave his beard. Carefully lighting the blade on Jake's dry, raw facial skin, Andrew shaved his unkempt beard. Then he applied a cooling aftershave on Jake's face, allowing him to relax while he grabbed his scissors for the haircut. "Wow, I love the neatness, Andrew." Jake lifted his fingers across his cheeks, surprised to see his face without a beard after years. He was happy to see how his little efforts could put a smile on a homeless man's face. He thrived on such moments of selflessness, where he could help others however he could. Andrew sprayed water on Jake's greasy and combed hair and tamed it before grabbing his magic scissors, then began trimming the homeless man's hair inch by inch until he spotted an unusual, familiar birthmark behind his ear. Andrew stopped moving his scissors and held the man's ear with his fingers, trying to figure out why the scar seemed so familiar. He looked at it for a few seconds until he recognized the man sitting before him. Looking at Jake's face in the mirror, Andrew suddenly felt his head spin. He couldn't believe that Jake was someone so closely related to him. The scar reminded him of his childhood memories, that time when he used to play with his father before he left him and his mother for another woman. Suddenly, Andrew's vision blacked out. Overwhelmed by the shocking realization, he fainted and fell to the ground, grabbing his customers' attention. Everyone inside the shop jumped to help Andrew, trying to bring him back to his senses. A few minutes later, Andrew opened his eyes and saw Jake sitting beside him. His gaze shifted from Jake to the other men in the room, waiting for him to resume working. "I'm so sorry, but I won't be able to take any more appointments today." Andrew apologized to everyone except Jake. While some of his potential customers got angry, others understood his situation and said they'd visit him the following day. Everyone except Jake exited the barber shop, and Andrew decided to talk to him about the scar. "And this scar on your head reminds me of something. I think we're related," Andrew confessed. "What do you mean?" Jake was confused. "I think you're my father," Andrew revealed, scratching his head, and his eyebrows arched upwards. What Jake asked as he began to think about his past. After a few moments of silence, he asked Andrew, "Are you Mary's son? Are you really her boy?" "Yes," Andrew nodded. "Is she? She's dead past a few years after you left us." Feeling guilty about his actions, Jacob apologized to his son for everything that happened in the past. "I don't know what to say, Andrew. I know it's difficult for you to forgive me, and I understand your feelings. I'm happy to know that my son is kind-hearted and treats homeless people like me with respect." Instead of blaming his father for leaving him and his mother in the past, Jake hugged him and said, "It's okay, Dad, it's okay. I'm glad fate allowed us to meet. I'm just so happy to have you back in my life." Later that day, Jake told Andrew he lost his job and ended up on the streets while the young man shared his journey of opening a barber shop. Soon Jake moved in with his son and was delighted to meet his grandchildren.